Johnson.
Here.
Tom Oakenfoos.
Here.
Phil Lloyd.
Here.
Ronnie Barron.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Okay, approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second that. Motion on the floor and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. Treasurer's minutes of the last meeting. Anybody got any questions on that? No. Don't have any marks on it.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion on the floor in the second. Approve the minutes as presented. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it. The closed minutes, we had closed minutes there. Huh?
Did Phil get them?
I have them here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking over it real quick.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I don't have any questions on it. Anybody got anything?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I'll make a motion to approve the closed session minutes.
I'll second.
motion floor in a second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Very good. Treasurer's report, Sue?
Alrighty. Current bills I have is from Burnbowman Contracting, Equipment Pro, BT Electric, and Cutting Edge.
You not get mine?
Oh, this is the
Can you
revised.
send it to me?
This is-
Board.
This is the revised one on the,
Let me go look.
where you had the operator on it, and you run the machine. You know, where you had the operator.
Oh, where we talked about that?
Yeah, we took that out. That's all that is.
Okay.
We turned it in and the secretary didn't know it.
I didn't get paid.
Again?
I'll have to make it up to you.
No, I got, she paid me.
I'm just picking it. Is that, I guess, clean all the debris?
This is another,
That was what it was over, yeah.
It went to.
another invoice from
That's the wrong
Equipment
one.
Pro.
Yeah, it's that,
Okay.
you're gonna send it?
Sue,
Yeah, let me see if I can resend it.
Okay.
how much have we paid Equipment Pro at this time? We got a bit invoice here for 3,600.
Yes.
This land is used as a repair of piece of equipment, paint, hardware, coolant, oil clean, and lubricant supplies, etc. Truck free of on-site use. Truck fee for on-site use, $800.
Is that for installing probably? Is that when they come down and put it in, I
What's
guess?
that? I'm sorry, I was correcting that email. You said .gov, right?
Yes.
Okay. What was that about?
Do it again.
Equipment Pro, they got an invoice here for $2,700 and dollars here for St. John Levee furnished Egyptian project for finished Egyptian project, multiple days, multiple tech, and then labor, 21 and a half hours at $130.
Yeah, I
And
seen
then
that.
on the backside here, on the second page, they got an invoice, miscellaneous parts used for the repair of a piece of equipment, coolant, oil, cleaning, lubricating supplies, etc. That's $800. So now I was down there with them last week. They come in and put the plate over the electric panel, that inch thick heavy plate.
They should have done that before they ever left.
I know. Now, before I left, he has said, I need you to sign it. He signed a paper and I signed one, but there was no time on it. But I was down there, I wrote it in the book. I was down there at 12:15 we met and I locked the gate at 2:15, about 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The reason that wasn't put on is the way I understood that they didn't, Bill wanted to be there to check the motor.
Yeah.
And his eyes went out. He had to get,
Is his workers, is his field crew
I
not
guess,
capable?
not qualified. I don't know.
Well, evidently, because that's why I had to work down there multiple days
Yeah.
when they were installing. Or otherwise, they would have tore that pump up. I'm not very happy. I'm happy the pump is running, but we need to run it for a while, several hours to see whether it's
Yeah,
really good.
I only rented a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was not happy about the entire process.
Yeah.
And I got the bill, that I think that that you're reading, what was that, 3,000 something?
3632.
3632 is what I got. And I went through that. And, there was something, I questioned that 21 hours myself. And, the miscellaneous parts for 3751. I'm not sure what that was. Truck fee, it is what it is. I mean,
Well, their boom truck, they used it to put that heavy plate
yeah.
on too.
Well, there's really no other way of doing
No
it.
way that-
Yeah, that thing's heavy. That thing probably,
And
it's
the
about an
ours,
inch thick
it
and
was-
it's about 3 foot
that's-
square. 2 inch thick. It's-
There was 2 or 3 people there, so that's
Yeah.
probably a multiple of
Sure, I get
6
that.
hours, 7 hours apiece or
Well,
something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's your
Yeah.
21
That's
hours.
not bad.
Adds up quick when you got multiple people there.
Yeah. You got a total of 21 and a half hours.
Yeah.
Labor.
But I thought we'd already been billed for labor. Or is this just the install labor?
The original bid was around 11,000.
Yeah.
Was it not?
And then it was increased.
Then it was increased. And then here's another 3. So
Yeah.
we got, although it's a lot cheaper than when we had.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I don't know that I complain much on it. What service, that we've been on it a year just about.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Since we first took it out. But we did, when we did put it in, we tested the other 2 pumps and ran out, so they both been tested and ran. So all 3 pumps are on the fire line. So good shape there. That's the good thing about it. Oh, my.
Yeah, other than I was kind of questioning the hours. I got no qualm about the price, the hourly rate. I mean, we're all up there. But the hours I questioned, because they should have deducted some for the couple of days I had to work down in the pit. I mean, if your field technicians are not capable of doing it, and you got other people there that has to do it to make sure it's right, then you should compensate in accordance. And the way I feel about it. I mean,
Well, it didn't take long to put that on, and the boom truck
Yeah.
worked. Boom truck worked fine.
yeah,
And, there was a little hitch about it. The plate has numbers on it. And the numbers are, I would have put it on the same way, hooked it up.
yeah,
Well, then the bolt holes were the whole pattern was off about a half inch, so he had to unhook it,
Right.
flip it over and turn it, and sort of the numbers molded in the plate, which you'd expect to be legible
What?
instead of upside down, so they had to be upside down to make the bolt holes fit. Whatever that's worth, that don't hurt nothing.
what it had is one of them, mule tapes in the top of it I mean, it's gotta go back on the same way we took it off. You
Well,
know what, that
Yeah.
mule tape?
yeah,
Yeah, we had one of them in the center hole, cause there's no handles or anything on that, so, back when Vandy Vander was first working on it, that's what we ended up having to do. So it should have went on the exact same way we took it off.
well, I don't know if there'll be an invoice come on that, putting the final,
Is that,
cover on the,
Oh,
is
so
that the
we
first
don't,
time Equipment Pros pulled one of those pumps down there?
yes,
So it was trial and error with them a little bit. How?
I was standing right there. I know
And I
that
understand
inside and
what you're
out.
saying. Understand, because there was a lot of
Yeah,
balls around there.
yeah. I mean, that's like the third time we pulled that pump?
If you wouldn't have been there, I don't know how many more hours.
Oh, yeah, it'd been a lot more hours, I
there's
guarantee you.
another one, equipment pro.
So I guess the situation is, what about there's an emergency?
Yeah.
Who do you call? To get
Well,
them,
I'm working on that.
yeah, into a panic situation where, hey, we've got water coming in
Big
4
pump.
weeks.
Yeah.
Labor,
Yeah.
service
We can't
call,
wait a year.
installing.
No, I'm working on that. Last couple of weeks I've been working on that.
Multiple days. Here's another one for 7,500. Labor field service call, install and repair large pump, multiple days, multiple techs. Truck fee is $1,200 on this.
Did we already pay a bill?
Well, that's what my question was. Was this supplemental? Cause I thought we'd already paid the entire bill.
We did not pay the entire bill. I'll have to go grab it.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Now, go see what we really paid.
But we did not pay the
I
entire
received that
thing.
So
email.
this is a balance that we had with them?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
I didn't think we paid it all.
okay.
because it wasn't complete.
Well,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what it is.
let's soon add it all up and see what the grand total will be.
Yeah.
Mr. Watson?
I don't know. Actually, who is it? We got a bill from Bruce Terry.
Got another one?
After hours, Bruce, $675. Supply and
Do they
install.
come multiple times to?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
We
so I
could-
don't know what happened at all, so.
Had we still been with Vandy Vander, it would all been done in one day.
Maybe.
Well, unless we,
We only got one guy that's good with Vanderbilt, and he's a local boy.
yeah, exactly,
They jacked us around a lot too
yeah,
in the past.
yeah. Well, yeah,
But I like-
we've had our issues with them as well.
Yeah. I definitely do like kid that come down and
Kyle,
did that,
yes.
Kyle, did that inspection for
Well,
us.
well, on to Bruce, he's got materials, $22,500, Bruce.
That's stem breakers.
I'm betting it is the breakers.
Yeah, that's 3
Yeah,
breakers.
I'm betting it is the breakers.
But we got 2 of them now.
Right.
We're
Which
supposed to,
gives
I believe
us
so,
4
yes.
when we got 3 pumps. We got a backup.
Yeah.
Well, we
I think
needed
had
that.
2 backup, don't we?
I think I only seen one up there.
Yeah.
I think he was gonna send the mothers to get them
Redone, yeah.
redone.
Well, maybe, and I don't know, but just to be in all fairness with, since there's not many people does this,
Mhm.
a discussion with Dean in the future, sometime in the future might be,
Well, Dean he doesn't spend a lot of time there anymore.
no, he doesn't, but he does,
Yeah.
he will move things the way,
Mhm.
because he's not wanting that company to, you
Yeah,
know,
it says
Yeah.
right there.
get a bad name, so.
Yeah.
Install. Buy and
And
install.
Dean's good to talk.
Circuit.
Oh, I know. That's why I originally decided to go with them, because I went and met him, heard his, the facility there. I was impressed with,
That was the price.
Yeah, if there's
Facilities.
issues, Dean will address it.
It said there were two.
well, you need to get people that know what.
And if you can't, or if there's a
Well, we
reason,
got-
explanation, he looks.
No, that's Norm's bill. We paid them.
But I know it sounds like me.
We paid
It
us
just-
20,000. We got
Was it,
another bill for, what's our total bill?
There's a lot of stuff got
You
dropped.
guys got the ship.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's like another 10.
30,000.
You talking about for equipment, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've sent it
Oh,
back to you.
you did. Sorry.
That's okay. Sprecher's not.
And we paid 20 on it, so.
We paid 20 on it so far. And
It's another 11,000.
We do what?
I said these two is another 11,000 on top of that. UAC.
Balance here,
I've got a copy of it in my email.
Dude, this shows the balance of 20.
That was what we paid back in February.
And that was the repair?
And that was like the two estimates that they had given us.
Okay.
But they're showing balance due of,
We already paid it though.
Sue?
That.
okay? Labor, 200, 800.
So we paid 20 and the two we have left are the balance.
Right. And that's it.
The final install, and
Correct.
so we're gonna be at 31,000.
31,000.
31,000.
8 man hours at $25, $200, that's cheap. Material lump sum, 390. Okay. So we have a new bill from Bruce Terry and also equipment bill.
That's Norm.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's so cheap. He works too cheap.
Uh,
You can
only,
send it.
only to you guys.
You can send it.
I guarantee you I don't work cheap anywhere else.
You can send another bill if he wants it.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah, that is pretty cheap, Norm.
Yeah,
Give me a raise.
you,
That's just,
I
I just donated mine.
appreciate you being there when you are. It makes a big difference.
I didn't write it.
Well, yeah, if I hadn't been there when they installed that pump, they were gonna put that top on, and we had 3 to 4 feet of cable, 2 different cables, just looped down there, and they were gonna put the lid back on, but I inspected everything, from the time they got there to the install. I even went down in the bottom to make sure everything's seated right, down in the tunnel, and make sure there was no debris or anything there. And I got video of that. So had I not said something, because Bill was standing there, he wasn't doing anything. I said, "You gonna leave this cable the way it is? You can't put that lid on like that." And he looked down in there and he said, "No, we're gonna have to do something about it." And his technicians, his field technicians, acted like they didn't know what they were gonna do. I said, "Well, just get your basket out. I'll go down there and do it myself." Because they acted like they didn't even want to go down in that shaft. And no, we're going to do it right this time. That's what I told Bill, and that's how it got done.
I like that, you had put them anchored on the wall, and them sleeves on
I
there.
felt that was the absolute best thing we could do to take some of that weight off them cables.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Yeah, because then when you run them pumps, that shaft vibrates, and you're going to get wear. Yeah.
We had trouble early on with them, that vibration on that,
So where are we at?
rubbing
We're at
the
30,
insulation off the power cables early on.
20,
Like
30.
30.
Learn how to wrap them tighter and
Maybe.
so on and eliminate that.
let's see.
A lot of things to know there. I mean,
Yeah, well, Norm's been in.
problem is if you learn the hard way, then you gotta remember them, you know.
Well, the thing with me is once I do it once, I never forget it. And I was with Vandy Vanner, I was there from the first time we pulled it,
Yeah.
and reinstall, so I never did forget any of that.
Yeah,
And I always ask questions when I'm dealing with other techs
yeah,
on stuff that I don't know.
yeah.
And Kyle and I were just talking, and he says, you know, if we ever decide to use them again, I can request that he's the man on the job.
Yeah,
Anytime they come down, and he's local. I like that.
yeah.
And he said he told his bosses that I can be his second because I already know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Wasn't this quoted at like $12,000 to begin with?
Something like that.
Was it
So
11?
I don't know where the additional, you know, I know I see it.
Those are estimates, Norm.
Oh, these are the estimates?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The other two, if you wanted to add them, are these.
They're in my emails, but I'd have to dig for them. So these are all of our invoices, actual invoices.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the winner was 86,000,
Really?
and it didn't fix. So this could
Crazy.
31, at least we hope it's fixed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
Better chance of being fixed.
unfortunately, it's like, what do you get for that money? We don't really know, do we? You know, I mean, you just keep adding.
So we're still at $14,000
And we paid them 20.
Plus the 20.
plus the 20. Okay.
Right.
Maybe we ought to question that a little bit. Huh? What do you-
I don't know if there was any changes or things that they run into that they didn't expect. I mean, you could ask them that.
20,194.79.
That's what we paid them.
I mean, when I
So
was
that's $34,000, 192.
If we had extra cost, we had a reason.
That's still a lot cheaper than what we paid Vandy.
And we had an explanation on it.
Because we paid like, what, 80-some thousand the first time?
It's like
Then another
86.
$35,000 the second time.
I was
Right.
thinking the first time.
And it
was
didn't
about
run 20
$70.
hours.
Then, yeah, and then we paid them what? Was it $5,000 or $10,000 for them bypass?
Oh, that was like 10,000.
Yeah. And then the final answer on that was, well, it has a phantom in the system. No, it had smashed wire. I got the pictures when we pulled it this last time. It had smashed wires in the casing. And that's why it was faulting out and didn't run right.
Yeah.
Do we
Is that from
want
Vanaventer?
to question them some on this last bill?
I think we're probably good. I don't necessarily agree with the hours, but I'm not gonna hold it up.
What's their total hours? They don't have.
They had 21 hours.
21 hours.
something like that.
But
they had
that's
three
what I
people.
think that was,
Just
there was 3 people
21.
there,
Three
so 7
people.
hours apiece.
And only one
They
working.
were there then,
3 people there and 1 working. Sounds like a
And-
state worker to me.
and 1 boss.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, thanks for being there.
We do have that fixed and we got all 3 on board. So
Yeah.
we're in good shape.
Yeah, yep.
Come an emergency. Yeah, we'll be all right. So I guess we need a motion.
Make a motion, we pay our bills.
Okay.
I'll second it.
I think
Is there any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
I,
Opposed? The ayes have it. Very good. What else we got? You got anything?
Yeah, I got just something brief. So I've been talking to Vandy Engineering, and the last couple of weeks, mainly I've been dealing with Kyle. And he came down, he gave us a free day, and he tested everything down there on the pumps to make sure everything was working right. He tested all the circuits. And when we got to pump 2, we was having that manual dial, that low bearings, or that bearing temperature sensor issue. Well, when we was checking on that, we went down below and we pulled the panel, and the terminal block was just corroded. It was bad.
really cool.
Yeah, it was just disintegrated, and the wires for the lower bearing temperature was actually, they weren't even making contact. And so that's why we were getting the bearing temperature misreading on the dial. Because BT, Bruce, he had checked the dial itself. Because I was just going to have him order one if that was broke. And that tested out good. Kyle tested it, it tested out good. Then that's when we went down below and pulled the panels and found out that was the issue. And Kyle just came down last Friday and installed the new terminal block.
Did he get that
Yes.
block
Yes.
and put it in for us?
Yes. I do not know if there's going to be a bill for that block and coming down the second time, but the first time he was down here, he spent 4 hours free of charge. And that's from Vandyman.
Okay.
They're trying to get our business back.
Yeah.
I said, well, we're going to talk. We're going to sit down with at least a couple of board members and myself, and you're going to take us out to lunch, and you're going to give us a tour of your plant, and we're going to talk numbers.
Yeah.
And so that's in the future.
Well, that's good. That way we got more than one.
Yes.
individual.
Yes.
We don't have to rely on anyone.
Yep.
You talked to him about the wires that you found smashed from when they
Yes,
did the
I
last.
showed Kyle, and he says he wasn't the one working on that pump when it got up the shop, so he couldn't really comment on it. But he says, well, if you've seen the smashed wires, then I believe it.
Yeah.
So, and then I showed him the pictures that I had of the smashed wires. So it happened up in
When it was taken.
when it was taken apart up there originally.
Yeah.
I do know that when they first took it out and then brought it back, after it didn't run right after the first install, talking with the workers and everything, I found out that they had skipped a few steps. And that's why they had to pull it the second time to go back and do what they didn't do the first. And then I guess apparently that's when they smashed the wires.
Okay. And that was a long time. That was several years
Yeah.
after running too.
Yeah.
I mean, this one took a year,
Yeah.
over a year.
Yeah.
That
Yeah, I
one,
came on
That
and,
was the year at least time we jumped around.
Yeah.
what was that? I came on
We had
in
trouble with it.
08, or not 08, 18. I came on in 18.
Yeah.
And that was my first order of business, is to get that pump pulled because it wasn't working right then when I came on.
Yeah.
And 19, we only got, 11 hours, 10 or 11 hours out of it. And that was after 2 times being pulled twice and reinstalled twice.
Mhm.
And then we're just now getting back to finally getting the thing running right.
Yeah.
So in my time here, that thing's been pulled 3 times. That pump is cursed.
But it's running now.
It's running now.
Okay.
And that's all I really got, other than dealing with that pump and Kyle coming down and talking with him, him trying to get our business back. And he's called me in the past couple of years on and off to see how everything's going. So he's always been good.
Yeah.
About being
Well,
a
they
local
always
guy
were
and
good.
Vandy.
They was down in the middle of the night and everything
Yeah.
else prior years. They was
Yeah.
always good.
Well, that was the other thing that we talked about, Kyle and I, was middle of the night.
Yeah.
Who am I going to call? Yeah, I mean, Bruce comes, but he can't do anything with the pump itself. He can only deal with electrical stuff. So that's all going into the talks.
Okay.
And having spare parts on hand.
Yeah.
That's part of the talks too.
Yeah.
And the knowledge
Yeah. Yep.
to take care of it. Well, that's good. I don't have anything really. Anything on our old business?
Only the, Bowmans have been down there 2 days. I guess it was
with
the last part of last week.
Digging the brush out.
They came back, worked, I don't know, 7, 8, 6, 7 hours one day. And they had to leave and they needed that machine somewhere for the next day, so they loaded up. Well, then something fizzled out, so they brought it back a couple hours to get finished on the north side. Yeah. Adam he did a fantastic job, got everything picked up best he can. And the water kept raised 2 foot overnight.
Yeah.
So luckily he had the south bench all cleaned off. He's got some mud and stuff on there. The water was down in the garage too.
The water was over the benches a little.
Yeah.
Couple feet.
Yeah,
Yeah, it got up.
it's down
It'll
just
drop.
about bench height.
And, it got up to what, 21?
22,
something?
right at 22.
Yeah.
2190.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's dropped.
And it's supposed to fall next 2 weeks quite a bit, 10 feet, 10 feet or so.
Well,
So,
bass season is in, so it could stay up just a little bit on the big saline.
Well, they
so
talk about
get some
the-
fishing done.
they used to talk about the June rise. That's when the snow melt
Yeah.
gets down from the
It's
Missouri
been
River.
going already though. Well, it's probably some in Montana.
Might be, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
We'll see. Don't have to worry about it.
Well, for to get here.
All right, okay, on the new business, we gotta make our annual budget. I believe everybody got a copy of that. And you wanna look over that and have any thoughts or changes?
I do know we need to add like $500 to the rent revenue for that, RV park from Patrick. I forgot to add that
We add,
to the revenue.
okay, to the revenue.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Is that annually rent? Is that what that is? Once a
Yeah.
year?
Yes. You should be paying it this month sometime. I completely forgot to add it.
Supplies.
What you highlighted in the yellow?
That was just what I thought we needed to
Do it,
just
yeah.
based on, previous. And I kind of did what we've done in the past, carry forward last year, so there's
Now,
just something in there to talk about.
mhm. Now, telephone, is $1,500 a year. So that's about 100.
That also includes like the 300 that we pay,
Oh, for the cameras,
yes, for the
Okay,
cameras.
Okay.
and that's under telephone?
Yes.
Okay.
And that electric, utilities is electric.
I mean, I just kind of threw a number out there.
I think we should
Um,
probably, I think you carried the number of the actual as of June 10th for labor over, and that probably needs to be more in line with the proposed budget from 25, maybe, the very bottom line. Because it's consistently been between 3 and 6 grand, maybe.
What was that, Phil?
The very bottom wages line.
Okay.
So that is just for myself now because Bernie chose not to be paid anymore.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
I didn't know.
Just.
Okay.
That ain't gonna let you off, Vern. You're not leaving us.
Don't count on that. Don't count on it.
You ain't gonna make me feel bad enough charge.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just saw that
No,
Yeah,
that is
everything else
why
was
that-
kind of carried over. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take his.
You can have a seat too.
Oh, no.
Somebody gonna need my seat here shortly.
Okay, never mind.
Are we keeping the surveying in there?
We may have a little surveying on coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So I would like to keep that in there just in case. I think that's maybe more than it would be, but at least we've got a number to work with.
Now, the utilities, that's our electric.
Yeah, and I mean, it has been fairly low. This year it's kind of a little bit higher.
That's
but-
$12,000, that's $1,000 a month for lights.
We've been
And air
running,
conditioning, it's a heater and air conditioning, because for our computer.
Yeah,
In the winter, we need the heat, and in the summer, we need air.
but we've been running
About
four
four.
something.
Yeah, like 450-ish. I don't remember when that was that we had to turn the pumps on and we got that big demand
yeah.
charge. That's what,
Not pointing any fingers.
that's what kicked that up. So I took it back down. And that's probably
I had the
fine.
generator running, I just forgot to turn it over to it.
It happens to all.
I know
of us.
somebody else that did that too.
No. Only I did it too.
I mean, 12,000 is probably high. You can cut that number
Yeah, I
down.
started both pumps.
I mean, that's just the, I don't know if
Well,
we have to run a pump or kick something.
yeah,
up.
if you run a pump, that's gonna blow that out of the water anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's not gonna hurt maybe to leave it there just as a buffer for future, but it's just a number for now.
Right.
It's not anything
Good idea.
huge that's gonna change anything too much.
Yeah.
But I think you know the numbers as well as anybody, Sue, and if you feel like that's pretty solid as far as what we would expect annually, I would agree with it.
What are we running under supplies? Is that the stuff that like the retractable that I had
Yeah,
to
like
order and stuff
all
like
of that.
that? Wouldn't we run that under equipment?
I can put it under equipment.
I mean, I don't care
Probably,
what it goes
maybe.
under.
Okay.
For like fuel,
Oh,
I don't know, that we're using for the generator.
Well, here's miscellaneous
It
fuel.
would be under, okay.
I mean, I don't care what
That's
it's put under. I just question, I don't know
No.
where we.
I mean, I
we're putting
probably should
stuff.
put it there, but
Uh,
that's like all your ACE. You had some
Yeah.
ACE bills coming due it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have another ACE coming up because I gotta change all the batteries in the cameras.
Okay.
And that's 12 batteries per camera, but that lasts like 6 months.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of where I threw all that stuff.
So, I don't see anything that out of line or that we need to improve or
As
change
long as the river behaves.
Yeah.
along the river.
Um,
I'm too busy. It needs to behave.
You're telling me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We've had enough rain. We don't need the river to.
Everything's a lot cheaper when that thing stays in its banks.
Yeah.
Make a motion. Yeah. We got to approve an agenda.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to
Oh,
approve the
financial.
agenda as proposed.
I'll second that.
Yeah. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, I got, is it too late? That what we decided on last week, we were gonna put in the budget, or last month? Is that anywhere in here?
What's that?
It's not.
The
5,000.
closed
Oh,
session
It is not.
no.
with the government, Corps of Engineers.
Yeah, the
We were gonna,
5,000.
Oh, do we want to?
Yeah, we're gonna have to add
I
that.
mean, the professional fees that's in here, that 15,000, that's part of our audit, and then the other part of him, and no, I did not include that.
okay,
I
Okay,
didn't even think about
maybe
it.
we ought to raise
maybe we
that.
ought to up that a little, just so we
Okay.
got that covered.
So,
20, the 15 to 20? Under professional fees?
Over, not that much per year.
No, I know what we were talking about was only 5,000.
Yeah.
But you're talking about putting that underneath professional fees?
correct.
So with raise we'd raise that to 20,000 from the
Oh,
15.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, raise it from 15
Yeah.
to 20 and then it'll be
Yeah.
covered.
Right, I was taking that.
Will that work?
5 or 75?
I thought we went.
It was
I thought,
He
did we go to 75?
said the average was about 10,000. And,
Dues.
And the 2,500 was like the dues per year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
75.
saying.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
we need to run
dues and then the
22, 50.
Well, I mean, I think with what we only paid this year, the 11, we probably are still good with
So
20.
if we up
All
that
right.
a little later, we ought to be covered.
Okay. You gotta know what to do.
Yes, 20.
Good. Okay, it's at one.
It should, I mean, we only spent 11.
Okay. All right. Anything else on that?
We need to make another motion.
Yeah, we wanna,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to include that change to the budget.
I'll second that.
motion on, and a second on the floor to include the change to the budget. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Opposed, the ayes have it. Okay, very good. Very good. And other than that, I don't have anything. Anybody got
Public participation.
public participation?
The only thing I can report is that for the property on the east side of the levee that we've been trying to give to Fish and Wildlife is now at their solicitor. It's back, now it's back at the solicitor. It'll probably come back to, we'll be going back and forth for a while. But nothing's been finalized yet.
Okay,
I know Kurtz's are gonna plan it again this year.
Yeah, they're gonna probably have a couple of years, maybe 3, that they'll be able to do that anyway, even after the transfer, based on what the Fish and Wildlife was talking about. Well, they're not gonna have any immediate plans anyway.
So if they're not gonna plant that anymore, what are they gonna do with all that down there?
So that would be their eventual, whatever plans they've got to bring in more wildlife.
Okay. Get some trees that grow.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've been here, what, 8 years? And them trees are the same height.
They're miniatures,
Yeah.
happy,
dwarfs.
the resident that got flooded on that last flash flood, was that addressed?
I mean, you all talked about it.
We talked about it, we didn't, there's nothing,
And she heard you guys talking about it. She understood. I think she's maybe talked to a couple of you. So, I mean, she understood what happened, but, still just wanted to make sure that the board and it was paying attention to when the flash flood is coming, that maybe needs to be cleaned out, needs to be, taken
Right.
care of.
Spotless before the
and
flood.
the only reason she sent the pictures and everything, I just thought it was.
Oh, you're talking about Sarah Boyer.
Yeah, that was Sarah.
And she, I mean, she had the same concerns that Sharon had.
Yeah.
But again, there wasn't anything you could do because it was a flash flood.
Right.
we can't pump water, and we didn't have to pump. There was no need, no reason, because we was several feet lower at the pump station. The water was just coming down the creek out of its banks.
Right, and I knew that, but it's like, I didn't know it was passed on to her and she understood the situation.
I hadn't heard anything myself since.
Yeah, and she wanted you to be aware of what happened.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we keep an eye on that more than people realize. 'Cause we watch the upstream, how they're coming,
Yeah.
what's coming, the headwaters. And we make sure we got everything prepared down there and the gates are open enough to take care of it, so.
And the other thing, during a flash flood, so much debris comes down suddenly. You can't get it out quick enough. So, I mean, it does hold some headwater back, but during flash flood like we had that time, there ain't nothing you can do. I mean, we can free flow far more gallons of water than we can even possibly pump.
right, which is what you were doing.
Yeah.
And what water we held back, we're about 20 feet, we're probably 25 feet lower than the streets. Well, really a little more than that. about closer to 30 than the 25 feet, and we held back maybe 5 feet at the low end of the pump station.
At the moment,
So it didn't affect anything upstream, any extra flooding in the city. It affected had zero
Well,
effect.
was the retention basin wasn't even filled up either?
No,
no, the retention base wasn't even filled up. It came in that quick.
Yeah, I mean, the channel can only handle so much
Yeah.
before when you're dumping a
Yeah.
huge bucket into a
Yeah.
small channel,
It's like
you know.
pouring a bathtub into a 5-gallon bucket,
Exactly.
all at one time.
Once it stopped raining at 9:30 that Friday night, it dropped about 5 feet
Yeah.
within about 35
Sure.
to 40 minutes,
Yeah.
so.
It's just there's not enough fall and there's not enough channel capacity to handle the water flow.
all right. Well, I have nothing else, so.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Second, motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Thank you, everyone. Thank you.